Hey guys, Toby Morrison here. Welcome to today's video on glandular fever, post-viral fatigue, and mono or any kind of virus that's affecting you right now. This video is to help you figure out what you can do on a day-to-day basis to really help you calm your nervous system down, get out of that stress state, provide healing and recovery, rest and repair, and ultimately get your life back. This is something that affected me. Unfortunately, I didn't do the right things, and that led me to get sicker and sicker and not listen to my body and do the right things, and therefore I ended up having chronic fatigue syndrome, and it was a long battle. But the good news is I'm completely recovered now, and I help people all around the world get their life back too. So I've got a list here of things that are really helpful, especially in the stage of a viral syndrome such as glandular fever. Mono is what they call it in America, and anything that anything like Ross River fever, things like that it can affect your immune system and your overall state of well-being. So the first thing, and it's the most important thing that most people tend to forget, is literally relax and rest, or rest and relax. And the reason why it's hard to do it is because you're still trying to live the life you did as a healthy person. And that's absolutely fine for a short period of time, but the problem is if you keep doing that, you'll inevitably keep pushing and crashing and getting sicker and worse, and your immune system will be more damaged. What we want to do is actually allow rest and relaxation to happen so your body can actually restore and get back to a healthy level of functioning. Okay, so the first thing is rest and relax. The second thing is nutrition and hydration. Food is fuel, okay? So you want to be eating really healthy foods, whole foods. Anything that's in a packet is usually not that healthy. So make sure you're eating whole foods. Make sure you're eating in a regular pattern so your body can rest and digest in between meals. Don't eat too much in one go, because that's a lot of energy that the digestive system needs to consume that food and digest it and then use it as energy. The other thing is, if you're really struggling with energy, a good thing to do is actually dilute your food, in the sense of blending your food together to make it more of a soup, or heating food up so it can be digested a lot more easily. So therefore your body actually doesn't have to take up all the energy in terms of digesting it, chewing it, and obviously digesting it so it can be used for energy later on. So that's also a good tip as well. If you've got vegetables, you want to put it into a mixer, mix it all up, put some hot water in it, even some chicken stock or bone broth if you want to get that technical, and then at least then you don't actually have to chew, so it's not so tiring. You can actually just sip it through a straw, and that can help too. So again, this is for people who are in that serious stage of glandular fever, or anyone with a post-viral syndrome where they feel completely flawed. They're usually sleeping anywhere from 12 to 16 hours per day, and they're constantly exhausted. Not tired and wide, that's a later stage, but this is, like I said, an acute stage of viral fatigue, really. Third thing I've got here is listen to your body. So rather than, again, trying to be like you were before, literally short-term pain for long-term gain. So listen to your body. If you've got aches and pains and your throat is swollen, your lymph nodes are up, it's important just to honor that. Like I said, rest and recover and just calm your nervous system down. Over time, if you do that, you'll be able to get back on your feet a lot quicker, build a healthy foundation, and then go back to what you were like before over time in the appropriate manner for you. Now, I've got a little less is more kind of approach. So it's a credit system, and you may have seen my Golden Rules video on my YouTube channel, but if you haven't, the credit system is usually a 2-to-1 work-rest ratio, and it varies for each individual. But if your energy is really low, a great little technique is the credit system. So let's just say you're awake for 2 hours of that day, and in that 2 hours, in the first hour, you go and see a friend, or a friend comes and sees you, and then the second hour you're doing house chores, and all of a sudden you're completely exhausted and you sleep the rest of the day. The credit system would work like this. If you were to see your friend for the first hour, the second hour would be rest. That that's a 1-to-1 rest-work ratio. If you are feeling really bad, it might be better that you have a 3-to-1 rest-work ratio. So you might rest for 3 hours and then 1 hour of output. And as you get healthier, obviously you can do the opposite. You'll only need to rest 1 hour for the 3 hours of output. So again, as you feel healthier, you can use that to build your blocks, and as your immune system gets stronger, you can flip that around quite quickly and sensibly as your health maintains. And that's the whole goal, is to get your health maintaining so you can keep building the blocks and improving from there. What I've got here is sleep routine hygiene. So getting into a good routine that's suitable for you and specific to you is really important, so your sleep cycle doesn't get out of whack. And this might mean that you get up at a certain time every morning. Again, it doesn't have to be early, it doesn't have to be too late, but just make sure you're not oversleeping, because that can also cause heavy exhaustion. But also, if you need to sleep during the day, which is understandable when you're in that viral syndrome because your body is fighting off lots of dis-ease in the body, you're allowed to sleep during the day, but just sleep. Set a sleep schedule so that you know that you're going to be asleep at this time, which might be around 12 or 1 p.m. Till around 2 or 3 p.m. And again, as you get healthy, you want to wean your way off that midday sleep, so your quality of sleep at night time is a lot better. So keep that in mind, because as a healthy person does, they typically don't need to sleep during the day. If they do, it's not a major deal either. They just listen to their body and sleep, just like the Europeans do, especially in France and things like that. They have their siesta, which can also be healthy. So just remember, get into a good sleep routine. You want to avoid heavy lights at night, heavy light lights at night, start to decrease and dim that. Go away from your electronics, and also make sure your room's really dark. Black it out so you can increase your melatonin release at night, and obviously when you're awake, you can be out in daylight. If you need to wear sunglasses, that's fine for light sensitivity, so you can actually be in the light and your body can actually absorb that and realize that it is daytime. Restorative breathing and movement. So we don't want to do high intensity exercise. We want to avoid high intensity exercise. Anything excessive that's going to deplete the body is what you want to avoid. So it's really important to make sure that you do what your body needs and also restore it within first. And again, build the healthy foundation first. So things like floor-based Pilates or yoga exercises can be really helpful in this time, especially because it's not overly taxing. And again, you might just start with a few minutes per day and build up. Again, if you do too little, it's not great, but if you do too much, it's not great either. So you got to find that middle ground for you and then build from there sensibly. Like I said, as your health maintains and you start to feel better, you'll have more confidence in your body to be able to do more. But we want to avoid high intensity exercise, high impact, which means we want to do low intensity movement, low impact exercises that don't hurt the body or hurt the joints. And then that way you can slowly build up, slowly but surely, and get your health and life back the way you want it. Avoid stimulants. So avoid anything to do with alcohol, coffee, high sugary foods or drinks. Anything that's going to stimulate you is not great. Again, we want to nurture the body and calm the system down rather than rev it up and give it that fake energy. So again, whole foods is easy. Hydration is really important. Drink as much water as you feel you need. If your urine is the color of a really fluorescent yellow, it more likely means that you're dehydrated. So that can also be a good indication for you. Now, 3 things that I've got randomly is allow for downtime. Most people with glandular fever find it hard to really calm down and sit still. So find things that you can do that will calm you down, but allow yourself to have that downtime. You're allowed to actually just be in this situation and just calm yourself down, just relax completely. I've also written down here self-reflection. So this can be a perfect time to start journaling, just to start thinking about yourself and what you truly do want to do with your life and how you want to be and feel when you get better. In times of crisis, this can be a great catalyst for you to create change for the better. And one of the things can come out of this is always a blessing in disguise. So whilst it might be hard right now, if you do all the right things physically and emotionally, you'll start to help yourself and get you back on a path that is actually congruent with you and authentic with you. So self-reflection is good. Okay, it's not a bad thing. Lastly, I just want to say, do what you love, even if it's for 5 minutes per day. So you're going to write down and be conscious of what you truly love and what actually really kind of fills your heart with joy. I want you to start doing that, even if it's just 2 to 5 minutes per day. You can build up onto it over. I know it's going to be hard for some people who like to do physically active things, but even if you're surrounded by that and just there, even not participating, can be helpful. But again, just start surrounding yourself with things that you love. Do that on a daily basis, because it's really important to do that. You'll find that it will fill you up with a lot of joy, which is actually great for your health and well-being too. So there's a lot of things, a lot of random things on this list, but most importantly, do what is right for you. Again, too little is not too good, but too much is not so good either. So find that middle ground for you, work your way up, and remember, as you get healthier, learn the lessons that you learned through this journey so you can apply it in your life and make the most of it so it can actually serve you for a very long time. You might even become more healthier and more conscious than ever before. I hope that helps. You can find more information at www.cfshealth.com. Whilst we do work with people with chronic fatigue syndrome and chronic illness, we can also help people who are going through post-viral fatigue, glandular fever, and things of that nature on a lifestyle basis, which is ultimately really important, because at the end of the day, you are in control of the 24 hours you have in each day, and we want to help you make the most of that in order to help your recovery and improve your health and well-being. All the best for now, and I'll see you soon. Take care.